So here we are doing our second yoga flow. We can start off with seated mountain. So I have my feet firmly planted into the earth, about shoulder width apart or a little wider if I want, however it feels comfortable for me. And I have my back long and I'm sitting at the edge of my chair. So I'm going to do simple breath awareness. And from simple breath awareness, we can go ahead and just notice how we're breathing. I can even slide my hands down my thighs as I breathe in and back up towards my stomach as I breathe out. So I'll do a few of those. I'm breathing in all the things that are on my mind, on my shoulders, and on my heart. And when I breathe out, I'm blowing them away. Notice my hands moving towards me. And then again in. Hands are moving away down my thighs. And then again, I'm going to blow out. And I always want to prolong my exhales for as long as I can so that I can help to relax the nervous system. And from here, we can go into the different version of a sun breath. And this sun breath will be a breath that as I breathe in, I can make a big circle with my arms and imagine that I'm about to fly. And then I can breathe out. And then breathing in, flying bird. Breathing out. Let's do two more. Breathing in, flying bird. Breathing out any shackles that I want to free myself from. And the next posture that we can move into is really seamless, and we can continue with the bird imagery and the feeling of freedom we get with that, as well as the shoulder roll and the neck roll. So we can go ahead, point our chin down towards our shoulder, and with that, with my chin touching my shoulder, so rolling down, touching my shoulder, I can lift my arm, and then I'm going to go ahead and point my chin down, roll it towards my shoulder, lift my arm, and I'm going to keep my arms up because I like the feeling of it. So chin towards shoulder, down, chin towards shoulder, back, up, down. And we're almost doing a flying motion from our chair. And we're using our head to follow our shoulder. So chin follows shoulder. And you can play around with it, whatever feels good. And see how that feels in your body. You'll notice that if you do it really, really fast, that can feel good. And then slow it down and see the difference and how that comes up differently in your system. The next seated posture we can flow into with this flow is the twist. So I'm going to reach my hand behind me, reach my other hand in front of me, and have a nice little twist. And notice that I can hold this for as long as I want, and I can twist as much as I want. So this is a free movement. And as I do this, I can even lift my arm and reach over. And I'll do for the other side. So twisting, my hand comes in front of me, my other hand's behind me, way back there, see it waving. And with that twist, I can even lift my hand over and imagine I'm a ballerina or a dancer, or I have a huge protective wing that's covering me. And you can do that one more time together. So the twist my wing comes up. And again, we can do a twist for as long as we want and lift our wing up and let that stretch be felt in our side. And notice that if we can. The next posture we can flow into with this flow is simply moving our feet along the floor and lifting our leg. And so we don't have to lift it as high as I'm lifting it. I'm just lifting it to show you. But my feet, one by one, are sliding along the floor and lifting up just as high as I want them to, just as high as it feels good. So sliding along the floor and up. And we can even imagine that we're walking on air because we're up in the air and we're high above everything and everyone. And everything is so tiny below us because our feet are just all the way up there, floating, sliding up into the air. And we can even have our hands join that movement if we want. So my hands are following my foot up, sliding up and down for as long as that feels good. And those are the seated yoga postures for trauma-informed yoga. And now we're going to move into the final restorative postures for this flow. Here we go. So for the restorative yoga posture, we'll move into supported child. And wherever you are, supported child might feel good, it might feel neutral, it might feel vulnerable. And so any position that we move into, any posture we move into, we can ask either ourselves or somebody else to cover us with a blanket and notice how that feels really protective and reparative. And if we feel okay without the blanket, that's okay too. So we're going to move into supported child as a restorative yoga posture. And because it's restorative, we're going to have a pillow both in between our knees to support our torso and over our chest. So we can just see how that looks. My toes are tucked under and away. And so this is supported child. I can have 2 pillows under my chest and 2 pillows under my torso if I want. I can take away all the pillows if I want to as well. It's up to me. It's up to you. And I can stay here for as long as I'd like. And I can notice the ground supporting me, Mother Earth supporting me, that I come from the ground and I will be returned to the ground. And the earth is there to help us, to serve us, to provide for us. And now, after 5 or 7 minutes have passed, I can move into supported bridge or Stonehenge, and we'll see how those look. So this is the complete opposite posture because I'm turning around. Before I was kind of turned in and over myself, folding over, and now I'm going to be open a little bit more and see how that feels in my body. So with supported bridge, I'm going to put a pillow or a bolster under my hip and see how that feels. So I have something supporting my head and shoulders. There we go. Something supporting my hip. And see how that feels. There we go. This right here is supported bridge. It feels really nice in my hip. It's giving some room to my hip. And while I'm here, because I'm noticing my hips more, I can make a small movement, as small or as large as I want to, in order to release any tension, any muscles that are tight in my pelvis, giving my pelvis a break and a rest. Noticing that trauma often causes a huge tightening of the muscles in and around the pelvis. So as I'm supporting my pelvic muscles with this pillow, as I'm giving my lower back a nice little rest, I'm noticing that I can release all of that tension in my pelvis And take a few sun breaths here if I want to, and blow all that tension away. And the other option, if this position is not comfortable or if we don't want to be in this posture, we can actually go ahead and just move the bolster or the pillow under the knees. So I'll go ahead and do that, and that is Stonehenge. And I would like to even have two pillows under the knees, and that way it would kind of even be supporting me like that, right? I could even put a chair over there or two pillows. That would be even better. I hope this trauma-informed yoga flow has been helpful to you. It can be done in office, at home, during therapy, before or after therapy. So we went from seated yoga postures that were trauma-informed and inviting and gave a lot of permission to the restorative ones that are about 5-7 minutes long as it feels right. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon. Have a beautiful day.